Welcome customers. The process of welcoming the guest begins well before they arrive. Prepare yourself by finding out what is on the menu, including any specials or changes. You should also find out the main ingredient of each dish, particularly if they contain ingredients such as nuts, as these can cause allergic reactions. Also find out if the dish is light or heavy, and if the dish is vegetarian. Find out which dishes are available in entree size or half portions. If you can answer these questions without referring to the kitchen, the customer will appreciate it and you'll appear professional.
Hi.
Hi.
Table for 8?
Do you have a reservation?
When the guests arrive, they should be politely greeted. And if your venue offers reservations, this is the time when you should inquire if they have a booking. Notice if there is a host within the group of customers. This will help later with the ordering procedure.
Hi.
Hi.
Table for 8?
Do you have a reservation?
Yes, we do.
If they do have a reservation, the details of the booking should be asked. If these correspond to the notes in the reservation book, lead the guests to their table.
Yes, would you like to follow me?
Okay, thank you.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? Want to get a table for 8?
Do you have a reservation?
Unfortunately, don't. No, I'm sorry.
Well, I'll just check for you, see if we've got room.
If no reservation has been made, a check must be carried out to see if the required number of tables can be made available.
Hi, can I help you?
Yes, we have a reservation for O'Malley, thank you.
Yes, would you have a preferred table?
Yes, it's our wedding anniversary today.
Find out if the customers have any special requirements, such as preferred tables. As demonstrated earlier, you may need to move tables together to accommodate large parties. Assist the customers with hats or coats, then show them to their tables and draw chairs out for each of them when they're ready. This is also the time to ask about other requirements, such as high chairs. If you're required to lap napkins, use your right hand while on the right side of the customer. Present the menu to the guest by opening the menu and passing it to the guest on their right side. If you are required to explain the menu, this should be done audibly and clearly. Then take orders for drinks and leave the guests to make their selections.
I'll take your order, ma'am.
The customers may ask you for recommendations.
May I have it in an entree size?
Of course.
And what sort of wine would you recommend with that?
I would recommend a dry white wine.
This is where your preparation in learning the menu will pay off. The customers may ask questions about the meals or restaurant. You should prepare yourself so you can quickly and accurately answer all questions and make recommendations on food and beverages.
Does it perhaps come with a pepper sauce?
If you don't know the answer, you should quickly check with your supervisor or the kitchen.
Yes, it does come with a pepper sauce.
Yes, well, I'll have the steak, please.
Okay.
You should be well practiced at recommending suggestions to customers and assist them with drink and meal selection. Take and process orders. When the customers are ready to order, they may give signs such as signalling you or closing their menus. Learn to observe this body language. Take the orders anti-clockwise from the guest seated at the right of the host. If you can't find a distinct host, start with the person closest to the door. Remember to use your common sense. In this case, we have a clear host. On his right is a child, and on his left is a woman. It is preferable to serve adults first, so in this case you would move around the table starting on the host's left. Whatever way you decide to take orders, keep to this when serving food and drinks and when clearing the table. Write the orders using the system in your restaurant. Do this legibly, and if your restaurant uses abbreviations, you should follow these exactly. Mark the host's order with an H, and also note the appearance of the first and last guests. This will help you remember which way the orders go around the table. Separate the entrees and main courses with a line, and note any other special instructions next to the meal. A sample of this is in your workbook. If your workplace has an electronic system, ensure that you are competent at working the system. You should spend time with your supervisor and colleagues and practice the system. Once the orders are taken, they must be taken directly to the kitchen or bar or processed immediately. Your next job is to adjust cutlery to suit the meals that have been ordered. You should take all cutlery needed for dishes up to and including the main course. Put the selected cutlery on a service tray and take it to the table. Start the adjustment of cutlery in the same order that you took orders, correcting the fork section, then the knife section of the cutlery set. Take away any cutlery that will not be required, and when putting down cutlery, start from outside with entree and soup utensils and work inward to the cutlery for the main course. Make sure all cutlery is parallel to each other. If the customer orders dessert or cheeses, the cutlery should be adjusted after the main course. You will also have to adjust glassware to match drinks. Serve and clear food and drinks. When the meals are ready, they must be checked in the kitchen to make sure they look appetising. First check there is no food or sauce around the rim of the plate, and that everything that should be on the plate is there. Then carry the plates to the table. There are two accepted methods: the 2-plate carry and the 3-plate carry. The 2-plate carry. This is performed by placing the first plate between your thumb, index and middle fingers. The second plate can then be placed on your forearm, supported by your ring and little fingers. The 3-plate carry. This is performed by placing the first plate between your thumb, index and middle fingers. The second can then slip under the rim of the first plate and be supported by your ring and little fingers. The third plate then sits on your forearm and the rim of the second plate. Find the preferred carry method of your establishment and practice so you can carry the plates quickly and safely while keeping them level. To serve food at the table, you should follow the procedure of your venue. Usually the procedure is to serve and clear plates from the right side of the guest. If the meals are served in the order they are taken, it will ensure the right meals are given to the customer. Of course, meals may not all be ready at the same time, so you must be flexible in your serving methods.
Excuse me, where's my meal? Everybody else has got theirs.
If there is a delay in the service of a particular meal, you must assure the customer that the meal is coming and advise them as to how long the meal may take to arrive. Some establishments have policies as to what to do if a meal is delayed.
Could I get you a complimentary drink?
Yes, I'll have a bourbon and soda, thank you.
If your venue has such a policy, make sure you follow it.
Remember to check customer satisfaction regularly throughout the course of their meal. This is usually done once they have started their meal and when you are clearing the table. If there is any problem, do your best to cater to the customer's request or complaint.
Serving of bread and condiments may be done in the silver service manner. This requires you to serve bread from a service basket using a spoon and fork like this, putting it onto the side plate of the guest. Bread, butter and water are usually served after taking the order for the first course. To serve condiments, place them in a small dish and take them to the table. Be mindful to check with the guests to be sure they are happy with their meals and to top up drinks or allow them to order more. Appropriate times to do this are serving the entree, after serving the main course and after clearing dessert. Guests may ask that you leave the bottle at the table to allow them to top up their own drinks, as some people find it easier to monitor their alcohol intake if serving themselves. Clearing the table should be done when everyone at the table has finished their course. One way to find out is to observe when everyone has placed their cutlery in the middle of their plates.
Am I right to clear your meals now?
Of course, if you're unsure of when to clear, you should ask the customers themselves. The actual process of clearing is similar to plate carrying. For a 2-plate clear, pick up the plate with your right hand and transfer it to your left as you would a carry. Put your thumb over the fork handle and use the knife to push food scraps to the front of the plate while slipping the knife under the fork. Put the second plate on your lower forearm, resting the plate on your little finger and thumb. Put the knife next to the knife of the first plate, and after putting the fork next to the fork of the first, more plates can then be stacked on the second plate. The 3-plate clearing method is similar to the 3-plate carry. Cutlery is put on the first plate. The second is held under the first and used for scraps. The third is used for stacking other plates. In the case of bowls, use the 3-plate carry method to clear. You may need to fill and clear drinks while guests are still eating. Wait for an appropriate moment and excuse yourself while clearing glasses. Ask your supervisor what method of carrying cleared glasses is practiced in your establishment. Never clear an unfinished drink unless you're asked to or the guest has left. When the main course has been cleared, you may need to crumb down before taking orders for dessert. Crumbing down is usually done between courses rather than between services. The method for crumbing down is to take a folded cloth and brush the loose crumbs onto a dinner plate held at the edge of the table. After you have crumbed down, you should present menus for desserts and take orders. Once you've taken the dessert orders to the kitchen, you should then adjust the cutlery. Orders for tea and coffee are usually taken after dessert has been served, and then served as dessert has been cleared. Your guests may request after-dinner drinks instead of or after tea and coffee service. When serving from a coffee pot, the pot is usually brought to the table. Generally, pouring from pots with long spouts can be done without lifting the cup. Whereas when pouring from pots with short spouts, the cup should be lifted. Above all, avoid any spillage, which could result in scolding customers. If a variety of coffee types are available, such as cappuccino, latte, and espresso, these may be served individually rather than from a pot. To serve tea, all you need to do is bring the pot, cups and accompaniments to the table on a tray or stand, placing them on the table and letting the guests pour for themselves when the tea has stood for a while. You should dispose of leftover food and items according to hygiene regulations and enterprise practice. It's also a good idea to dispose of recyclable items according to local regulations and your workplace procedures. Like ordering, the type of billing system changes from venue to venue. The bill should be prepared at the end of the meal after the customers have done all their ordering. It should include all food and drink consumed. If you have a computer printout, check it thoroughly. Present the bill when it's asked for unless your supervisor has told you differently. Keep the bill covered. When the guests have finished their meal, they should be farewelled from the dining area. You should try and remember their names when saying goodbye. Even if you're busy, a smile or nod will leave a good impression. If they ask for your name, answer politely and ask for theirs. Guests will appreciate the extra effort, especially if you remember their name next time they dine at your establishment.